Set this up. Yeah.
Otherwise.
He's in mine.
No.
Okay, Madam Chair, you are live. Thank you. Welcome to the Monday, July 28th, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting. This meeting is now called to order. Ms. Whitten, will you conduct the roll?
Supervisor Lewis,
Present.
Supervisor Day,
Here.
Supervisor McDaniel.
Here.
Supervisor Lyons.
Here.
Chair Ayers.
Here. We'll now offer an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Those attending are not required to participate, but if you'd like to join us, please stand.
Dear Lord, the earth is thirsty for rain, and we ask you to refresh the land and all its creatures, and the runs, creeks, rivers, and lakes which nourish the crops and gardens. Please send measurable rain to us and wisdom for this group, and teach us to be better stewards of all the blessings you provide. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will hold citizen comments near the beginning of the meeting. We will do our best to take citizen comment remotely. There are two options for citizens to offer comment. To join by telephone, you may dial into one of the numbers listed on the county website. Webinar ID and password are there for your convenience. Citizens wishing to simply view the meeting live or after the fact can do so on the Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors YouTube channel, also available on the county website. If you wish to make a citizen comment as a Zoom meeting participant, you will use the raise your hand feature. You can press the raise hand button on the bottom of your Zoom window or press *9 if you are calling in by telephone. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll now welcome citizen comments. When your name is called, please address the board at the podium stating your first and last name and magisterial district. Please limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. There's a timer on the table for your convenience. Is there anyone signed up to speak?
We have one name here. I'm sorry, Craw? Craw. Craw, Mr. Mayor?
Okay.
No one else.
Is there anybody there? I don't
No one on.
see there.
online.
Is there anybody else that didn't sign up but that would like to speak at this time? Approval of the June 23rd, 2025 minutes. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting, the minutes, gentlemen?
Motion to approve is presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Lyons,
Yes.
Mr. Day,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
And I vote yes. County appropriation resolution.
First of all, Mr. Harrison sends his regards from Hawaii, so you're gonna have to deal with me this evening. The staff is requesting approval of the resolution authorizing the payment of bills. The total amount of the bills in this period is $1,537,053.46. Additional appropriations in the amount of $1,647,037 are detailed in the resolution and include $1,645,117 in FY 25 carryover funds to FY 26 and $1,920 in new appropriations. For informational purposes, the FY 25 year-end financial information will be presented at the first regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors in August when Ashton returns.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Lyons,
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Day.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
And I vote yes. Update on broadband project from Brightspeed, Mr. Suter.
Yes, as you know, we partnered with Brightspeed on several, come on up, Chris. With Brightspeed on several VADI grant applications, finally winning one in 2024. And then due to developments at the federal level and some other grant awards and some things we had to change around and rescope, that had to be put on hold for a while. In the meantime, Brightspeed has continued work in the county, making connections and building middle mile fiber in preparation for the work in the grant areas and in other areas they were already planning to build. With all agreements finally in place now, Brightspeed is working on the VADI areas. And for a couple of months, Brightspeed's Chris Dillon, who's with us tonight, and I have been attempting to mesh schedules between his schedule and our schedule and the board schedule, so that he could give the board an update on work to date and work plan. And we finally got everything lined up. And as you see, he's with us tonight with a brief presentation. I will note that Chris has been my main point of contact on fiber issues and anything else that comes up with Brightspeed. And although the contractors that he has to push to get things done aren't always quite as responsive, he has been. So he's been a good contact for me. And we do have a presentation, and I'm going to try to share my screen.
As he brings that up, Madam Chair, thank you, the board. Thank you all so much for having me up here and taking the time to hear a little bit about our small little startup company and what we're trying to do with regards to connecting rural areas to broadband. Personally, I'm a retired government official. I was a deputy county administrator for a 1.4 million person county, Wake County in North Carolina, and a 43,000 person county. So I know both sides of the urban-rural divide, and I've seen the inequities that happen there. And coming from rural North Carolina, I've really worked hard to try to bridge that divide within our company. So I want to just very briefly give a little marketing picture. I'm sorry I have to do this, but a little bit about our company. As you can see, we were started in about 4 years ago in 22. We're based in Charlotte purely because it has the best airport for the 20 states that we are in. We purchased all the copper assets from CenturyLink, and our goal is to pass that copper with fiber along all those routes. We have a little less than 4,000 people in our organization, and we work hard every day to build fiber along those routes. We are the third largest fiber builder in the United States. That is punching way above a weight class. That is Verizon, Google, AT&T, and all the other big players. We are the third fastest fiber builder in the United States right now. So this is just an outdated news release, but we have passed over 1.82. We're over 2 million passing. So that's a resident or business. In our 20 state footprint, we've put fiber in front of over 2 million passings right now. And we're very proud of that. And our goal was 3 million, and now it's 5 million in our network. So this very quickly, most reliable internet out there right now. This is from a nonpartisan, non-paid for spokes group, highspeedinternet.com. We are the third most reliable fiber provider within the system in the United States. and we're very proud of that, but we're more proud that we have the fastest ISP speeds on our fiber network out of everybody. So we're above Google when it comes to fastest internet speeds. Right now, we're offering two gig service. We're about to start offering 10 gig service, and we just successfully tested 50 gig service. So what we're putting up right now will go up to 10 gig with no hardware changes whatsoever, only software. You don't have to change anything in your house. So this is essentially future proofing our network. So I wanted to go over what we're building currently under construction or completed within the county. And this is a little outdated as well. So currently we have 5 builds underway or completed within the county. Lexington, this is from, I think, May. Lexington should be complete, and that's almost 4,500 passings, and open for sale is over 4,000. So that OFS means those residents can buy our fiber right now. And we have by far the best price point in the market. Buena Vista is about the same with 4,000. With Glasgow, I think we're under construction now. We were dealing with some VDOT permits there, but VDOT has been an amazing partner with us, as well as Dominion. And Natural Bridge is a smaller build, but just as important. And currently, I think we have over 200 open for sale in Natural Bridge. The next slide just gives you a little bit more of detail on where we are, and I'll get this updated and get it to your administrator on where we are within each of these builds. Again, in Lexington, we worked with the mayor, we worked with the city manager, great people to work with. And as we build, so these are our planned builds. These are not grants. These are not federal or state funds or local funds. These are coming directly out of our investments. So out of these builds, what we'll be able to do is reach out into the county much cheaper than other competitors. So our price per passing will be a lot less, which makes us more attractive to VATI grants, to federal grants, to BEAD grants, as we build out in these areas. So as your administrator said, we worked really hard. My boss, we cover 5 states. We pushed very hard to help the county get this VATI grant. And it is very odd. I don't think our broadband office had seen this before, but we were awarded a large grant. We go forward. We were awarded over 1,700 passings. And then, the feds came in and announced this, the Community Connect grant from USDA. So that amended our agreement, and our broadband office was more than happy. We didn't fight over turf. We said, if you get it, we take it. We don't want to let you lose any money. So our current grant build for this build will be down to 518. So we're going to build 458, what we call pass through. So if there's a neighborhood here that was connected, a neighborhood here, and there's people in between, we're going to fund that. So those are called pass through. So we're going to fund 458 out of our pocket, which will lead to about 1,000 passings, I think, by the end of the build. That'll add to how many people have fiber broadband within the county. So if you look at that, our funded passings are a little bit over 10,000. The county and state funded will be about 976 combined. So that's over 11,000 residents and businesses that'll have up to 10 gig service within the county. So coming from an economic development background and a county background, that's something I can sell to businesses that, hey, you can come here and start a business. We have the future here right now. And that's very attractive when you're trying to locate business entrepreneurs or people who want to work remote. So next steps are, we're doing design right now for the VATI build. We have the executed agreement. We had our kickoff meeting 2 weeks ago. And as we design it out, we'll start sharing with Spencer how we're going to start building and move forward there. So that was really quick. If you have any questions, I'll be here right now. Please let me know. I have to say, out of the 5 states that I work in, your county administrator is one of the best, if not the best, I've worked with in my career. So, except for the guy who hired me. I mean, he was pretty smart, but he's retired multiple times. So, but I will say that Spencer is an amazing workhorse, and you're really lucky to have him, especially and with his skills. So with that, Madam Chair, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Gentlemen? Any questions? Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
very much. And I do want to thank you for all the work that you're doing to help connect Rockbridge County. And I understand how some subcontractors are more difficult to get, but when I have a constituent that has been reaching out quite a bit and has not been able to get that subcontractor or Brightspeed to come back and bury the line that's strung across his backyard. So I don't mean to bring, but I am desperate now. I have heard from them about 4, 5, 6 times.
Yes, ma'am.
And so help me out. How can I fix this problem?
I'm gonna walk out of this room and I'm gonna call our regional manager, and he's not gonna have a good night. I can tell you that. So you've done yeoman's work, and so has the administrator. So I will handle that right now.
Thank you.
But I will. We are very excited to be in this market and the future of this county. It is a gorgeous area. Y'all are very blessed to live here. It's 100 degrees outside, so I don't know what y'all did wrong there, but but it is gorgeous, and thank y'all so much for having us.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dillon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Consideration to set public hearing on trademark ordinance. Mr. Mitz.
Good evening, Chair Ayers and members of the board. On June 9th, I brought forward a recommendation to pursue trademark protection for several key elements of the county's visual identity. The board authorized staff at that time to move forward with the application process. And in accordance with that direction, on July 23rd, I submitted the trademark application to the Virginia State Corporation Commission, along with the required $330 fee. The applications cover 4 elements of our county branding: the county seal, the PSA water drop logo, the fire department patch, and the county's R icon. Once the SEC trademark office completes its review, I will provide an update on the status of those applications. In addition to pursuing these registrations, I also recommended that the board consider adopting an ordinance to prohibit the unauthorized use of county branding. This would offer an added layer of legal protection beyond the state registrations. A draft ordinance has been prepared and is attached to today's report. It was reviewed by County Attorney John Dryden. Because this would amend the county code, a public hearing is required. If the board wishes to proceed, staff will schedule and provide notice for a hearing at your meeting on August 25th. I'd be happy to answer any questions in regard to the draft ordinance.
Nothing. Then is there a motion to do that?
So moved.
Here. Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Day. Mr. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Lyons.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you, Mr. Mitz.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
Consideration of award of fuel bids.
Yes, on May 30th of this year, staff issued an RFB or an IFB as we do every year for delivery of petroleum products, including vehicle and equipment fuels for this current fiscal year. Advertisements efforts included local print, the county website, and the Virginia e-procurement portal, EVA. The IFB was posted to the county and the EVA websites for 1 month. 9 vendors submitted bids, and those bids were opened and read on the closing date, which I believe was June 30. A resolution is attached for the board's review and consideration, showing the low bidder in each category. The reso authorizes me to execute the respective contract documents and take other actions such as may be necessary, subject to form approval by Mr. Dryden, our county attorney. And the request is to approve the resolution.
Thank you. There are no other questions?
I move to approve the resolution.
Mr. Lyons, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Day? Yes. And I vote yes. Consideration of revenue sharing request from the town of Goshen. Mr. Suter.
Yes, the Buckingham branch is again bringing the 611 steam engine locomotive to Goshen this fall. It's a very exciting thing for us. As noted in the link provided in your package, the engine will run between Goshen and Stanton for 5 consecutive weekends beginning on September 26th. And as you're aware, the ticketing point for passengers is in the county just outside the Goshen town limits right across the tracks. Goshen representatives have approached the county with a request to share some of the revenues garnered by the county's admissions tax with the town, given that close proximity. Proposed primary uses of the funds would be for water system improvements and other town projects as they may come up. Goshen has requested an even split of the funds. Estimates of the admission tax revenues from the 7-weekend event could exceed $100,000, depending on the number of passengers. And just to let you know kind of how I came to that number, if you, for 5 weeks running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 trips a day, times approximately, and we don't know how many people would ride, but 550 seats per trip. And it's put an average ticket price of $100 times 6%, which is our admissions tax. It ends up to be right at $100,000. Goshen has discussed implementation of an admissions tax for events held within the town in addition to the county's admissions tax. Via discussion with Goshen officials, the basic concept behind their request is that for any event subject to an admissions tax within the Goshen town limits, or in any area outside the town, but within 1/2 mile of the Goshen town limits, both parties agree to grant the other an amount equivalent to 50% of the revenues generated by such tax. And should the board wish to enter into an agreement, Mr. Dryden and I would work with Goshen officials to create a draft to bring back to the Board of Supervisors for consideration.
Thank you.
I just like to say, as the magisterial representative for Walker's Creek District that surrounds Goshen, I was, sort of the first to hear the request and talk through some of that. And I think the railroad, could have other options about where to ticket these things for this train ride that was once a success, and I'm sure it will be again, and then hopefully continued. So I'd like to do everything we can to keep that here in our community, and at the same time, it is very, as Mr. Suter pointed out, very close proximity to Goshen. So I just see it as a positive thing to keep it here. Work with the town. That the town has approached us before for certain projects for funds, and this would certainly be a way to help them have some revenue source longevity in a revenue source. So we hope if the train continues. So I see it as a positive for us. We might not see any revenues from it if there were other routes taken, so to speak. So I think it's just a good deal. So that's sort of my take on it initially. And I've spoken with everyone, and I know there's some other thoughts out there, but that's that's where I hope we can get to.
I don't disagree with Mr. Lewis. I don't totally agree with Mr. Lewis,
That's not new, man.
but that's not new. I'd rather draft an agreement or draft a change that includes both our towns. I think if we were to do something outside of Glasgow, where an admission was charged with, that they should be, and if we're going to share, we need to share amongst both our towns. And I'd like to, I don't want to delay things, but I think we need to get together with the officials of Goshen and discuss the percentage. I know we have approved and spent some money already this year making improvements, the fencing around the collection site was to shield it from the railroad. And I think we can, if we're going to share revenues, we should share expenses, or we should come to an agreement on the percentage, but I'm not ready to agree to a 50-50 split. just the pure split unless we're gonna adjust some other things.
Yeah, I hear you, but the convenience center, that should have been there to begin with from my perspective. So I don't necessarily see that as part of this. That's my thought on that. But I agree with the Glasgow. Good point. I think that was discussed originally, but obviously this Goshen one was what was driving the request, so to speak. So I hear you about the towns. Absolutely.
But, I mean, Goshen is who's requested. Glasgow has not requested.
They have not, and certainly that's an excellent idea. If you're going to do it to offer it out, I would suggest if you wanted to do some reciprocity, you could do that separately and then just do reciprocity, or you could have it in one agreement. But when you get 3 local governments going at one time, it tends to slow it down a little bit potentially. So there could be 2 separate agreements. That's what I'm saying. If they're even interested. Right now, maybe a little different down there. I'm trying to picture anything that would be within that half-mile buffer in the county where the county would be having a ticketed event. Whereas Goshen may have some Glasgow may have some ticketed events within the town. So certainly they'd want to weigh in on that.
And I guess, I don't disagree in terms of cost. I mean, I don't know if there are associated costs, but if they don't have any revenue, then they can't exactly pay for those costs. So if there were associated costs with the railroad. So if we did do the 50-50, then they would have a revenue source to actually pay for that. Anybody else?
I mean, I tend to agree with both of them. I mean, I think we should move forward with it and let's focus on Goshen, getting that taken care of since the train ride is coming up this fall. Ask Glasgow if they want to be included or if they want a separate agreement or something like that, but not to slow this down. But I do think we need to have some discussion on what the percentage split is. I'm not saying it's not 50-50. I'm not saying it's not, 60-40, whatever, but I mean, there are expenses in the town that the county pays for, schools, sheriff's department, different things like that, we cover. So I just think it needs to be, fire and rescue expenses. So I just think that we need to have that discussion and pinpoint that down. And that can happen while this is in process of being worked out. I don't think it should hold it up.
This is some of those services you mentioned, or those services you mentioned are certainly paid for by the county, but this is a slightly different revenue stream. I mean, we're trying to use these types of revenue to help pay for all that stuff, but it's not, of course, the entire funding source for those, as you know. It just seems like a unique situation to me. Why I'm comfortable with the 50-50.
All you're looking for is marching orders, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could, while you all, if you wanted to mull the actual percentage, I don't, if you don't want to, if there's not going to be a decision on that tonight, you could give me and Mr. Dryden the marching orders to begin the talks and forming up a document.
Well, can we ask the question, are you against it if it is at 50-50?
Yes.
Okay, so that
But I'm not against developing a sharing, a revenue sharing agreement. I think there needs to be some discussion, you know, as to why it would be 50/50. But I think it should be shared. I'm not saying it should.
I just don't want to risk us having it be zero.
Well, I'm not asking for it to be zero. I'm asking for it to be negotiated.
Well, I'm glad I'm here and we want to move forward. So
Um,
that's good.
Are we comfortable with staff polling on the percentage and letting staff come to agreement with the five of us? Are we comfortable with that? Yeah, you're
It's
not
kind of tough.
comfortable with
That's
that.
kind of tough on staff.
Staff would have to bring a document back to us to review. So if the only thing left out of the document is the actual percentage, we can have a vote on it that night as to what the percentage is going to be put into it. So if you can bring it back to us August 11th or the 25th, and we can have a vote on it at that point and move forward.
Time wise, timing wise, I prefer to see it as soon as possible. Just, I don't guess you mentioned the 11th. So
I mean, if it's August the 11th, that's our next meeting. I mean,
Yes, sir.
between now and then, we can each have discussions one-on-one or with county administrator to.
Right.
Well, I think it's important to include Goshen in this. You know, they've asked for a percentage and so, you know, I don't think we should just be up here and saying, no, we're gonna only give you this, and they're gonna say, well, then we'll just have our own tax. And so if you don't have a conversation with them other than their request, then.
So are we looking at the revenue that the town of Goshen is dispersing and how and where it's going, whether it's going fire rescue or? Is that what we're looking for?
I don't know whether we're going that in depth, but I'm looking for, you know, how they came up with the figure of 50% and what's their reasoning behind it. I mean, they could move the ticket booth inside the town of Goshen and the county admissions tax would still apply. But what would happen if everybody keeps adding flying taxes, then pretty soon people aren't going to want to ride the train because of the, you know, if you go from a 6% tax to a 12% tax, that's pretty hefty jump. But I think we ought to be able to meet with the people in Goshen and come to a mutual understanding before it comes back to the board.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the only option of where the ticketing could go.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying, it could go elsewhere, but that would be outside the county. But I'm saying, if they move into the town of Goshen, it doesn't eliminate the county admissions tax.
And I complete respect for everybody's opinion here. I guess when you talk about a cost sharing, that's kind of, it's in the name for me. It's cost sharing or revenue sharing is what I meant. Sorry, excuse me. If we're sharing that with Goshen, to me the logical is 50%, and it's relatively easy decision for me. I don't know what to calculate, whether it should be 30, 40, all of that seems to be kind of an arbitrary, we would be still picking an arbitrary number. And I guess if you're going to pick one, it just seems like 50 is kind of the one to pick. That's where, but we can ask, I think your question is, where is the town of Goshen in these discussions? And maybe what we could do is we could have Goshen come in before the 11th and have those discussions with you. Will you be comfortable with that?
Okay, fine.
So you could set that up. And
My question is, have a discussion with who or whom?
the town of Goshen.
No, on this board.
Maybe the finance committee.
Sure. Sure. But I mean, clearly, I mean, what we're trying to do is get a consensus. So finance, but also I think that having a conversation with everybody on the board to know where the votes are, because it doesn't, we still need 3 of 5 votes to move this forward. Correct?
We do, or you do. I want to be careful not to, have a straw poll, but the discussions need to be had, and I'm just, as staff, I'll have one-on-one discussions with each of you, and I'll try to get everybody's ideas, but we're to that point now where we're having that discussion. I can certainly, I didn't recognize them, but in the back is Tom and Steve with the town of Goshen, are back here with us tonight. I'm certain I can set up a meeting. I just need to make sure who we're meeting with.
Why don't, would you mind that we have one person from finance and Mr. Lewis, since it is his district? I mean, would that be a reasonable thing?
I was going to ask
Would
the
that be-
finance committee if that would be possible, but I certainly understand.
I'll step aside so Mr. Lewis can.
Right?
But then that leaves, you represent the town of Glasgow.
I understand why Glasgow, why the thought process is there for that. But I don't think it should hold this up. Focus on Goshen, get that
Okay.
done, and then we come back around. to
Yeah,
it.
because I mean, the timeline is rapidly approaching. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Does that make sense, Spencer?
Yes, my understanding is that I'm to organize a meeting between representatives of the town of Goshen and Supervisor Lewis and Supervisor Lyons.
Makes sense. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Consideration of did you want a motion for that?
No, I think at
Okay.
consensus, I have everybody was nodding.
Okay. Consideration of surplus property designation and ambulance donation to Dickerson County. Chief Ramsey.
Good evening, Madam Chair and rest of the board. As you're aware, I think I've spoken to everyone on this subject and with the county administrator thought process, thought it best to bring public and bring it before each of you publicly. As you're aware, and thank you, we have our new ambulance. It is in service and running calls now. It looks great. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, we do appreciate it. The staff are enjoying it. But since that, when we put that in service, that left us with a vehicle that is not ready for service now. We had to take our expensive items off of the one ambulance to put on the new one, cardiac monitor, stair chair, things like that, all the supplies. So it doesn't technically meet OEMS standards to have a license currently. And we do have a backup. So this one would just be setting, or we would have to make it a surplus vehicle and sell on gov deals. With that, being part of the Virginia Fire Chiefs Association, knowing that there is a program out there where agencies or departments, localities put in requests through the Fire Association that if there's a vehicle available, whether it be a fire engine or an ambulance or a brush truck or anything that's out there in the Commonwealth that the association can know about. They kind of put it out there. It's just kind of sitting in limbo, waiting till someone has one available. So I did some checking prior to asking for approval with the association, and there is a need in Dickinson County in the southern part of the Commonwealth for an ambulance, which I think that this particular vehicle, if it's something that can be run on a daily basis every day, that it could provide service to citizens in that locality for a couple of more years, or kind of till they can get out of a bind or whatever the need may be. I have not spoken with anyone in Dickinson County yet. I did not want to do that until we had your all's approval. So I did present to the Public Safety Committee last week or week before last. And one of the questions that Ms. Ayers had was what would we if we would sell that on Gov Deals, probably about a couple $1,000s. It is a 2004 Ford F-450. Does have an ambulance box on it. Sometimes folks purchase them, but probably $2,000 to $3,000 would be max that we would get out of that. This ambulance was donated to us. Technically, it was our first ambulance owned by county or run by county staff, as you all recall. That Goshen First Aid Crew donated this ambulance to us. It had some engine issues, some things like that, and we took it on. We rebuilt the engine. We have about $12,000 in the engine, and that was in 2020. So it has run well for us during that time. We have run it. It's been loaned to the city of Lexington when they needed it. So it's served a good purpose here, and it's one of the things that to surplus to someone for the engine when it is serviceable, it is usable. I think it would be good to, since it was donated to us, to provide it to another locality. So with that, if you don't have any questions about that, or if you do, I'll be happy to answer those, but we are requesting approval to surplus it and donate it to Dickinson County.
Specifically, there's a resolution. You just need to vote to adopt that resolution, which does both of those things.
I fully supported it.
I do too.
Is that a motion?
I make a motion to accept or to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Are there any other questions, gentlemen? Anybody? Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Day?
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Consideration of joining opioid settlement.
As the board is aware, we've the county's had several settlement and release documents brought before the board for their approval. This is the most recent one in a series of them. This is with a company named Henry Schein, along with his associated companies, General Injectables and Vaccines, Inc. and Insource, Inc. This settlement was negotiated by Kaufman and Knowles and some of our outside counsel, and they've requested that we approve, if we want to participate in the settlement, that we approve the settlement, and we agree to release those companies from any claims we might have against them in the future. And the amount of the settlement is one of the smaller ones. It's $461,000, of which we get 0.2 something 5%. So it's not a large amount, but one we would have to sign off on, or we wouldn't be able to receive any of the funds.
Gentlemen, any questions for Mr. Dryden?
Make a motion to approve resolution.
Mr. McDaniel, is there a second?
Second.
Is that you, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
Mr. Day?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Consideration to set public hearing for a transfer of real property from the county to the cities of Lexington and Buena Vista associated with the boundary line adjustment necessary for 911 center access via Banner Lane.
Yes, we can go ahead and do that one, but I do want to let you know we need to jump back to the number 11 at the right after this one. We
forget
skipped
something?
one.
Sure enough.
All right. I just didn't want you to let me forget.
Thank you for catching it.
Okay, as you may recall, since the beginning of the project, where the county converted the old Lomax Funeral Home to the Regional 911 Center and Fire and Rescue Administrative Offices, one concern has been from the very beginning the kind of steep ingress egress off of Route 60 onto and off of Route 60. which, is a sight distance problem for staff and visitors. And also, it creates a little problem in the wintertime going up and down that hill. One opportunity with the Rockbridge Area Department of Social Services building project, which is underway right now, that we did identify early in the process, was the ability to provide a safer access point coming down the hill, basically from Food Line down the hill to the 911 center, basically an extension of Boehner Lane. This work we went ahead and added this as an add alternate to the request for bids, and RL Price Construction is in the process of doing the earthwork to make this happen at this time. In addition to the fact that the new road portion would need to be dedicated to BV's street system. I think it's 50 foot. A slight realignment of the road requires dedication of two small areas of land that currently are owned by the 911 center, the county, by the county for the 911 center fire administration parcel. So there needs to have the correct alignment. We need to shift some land and donate some land to that project. Let's see, such a dedication would require a public hearing, and the request is to grant us the authority to advertise for that public hearing. We didn't set a date on that, and that we need to coordinate with both Lexington and Buena Vista to get the proper documents. Bless you. Get the proper documents prepared. We just wanted to get permission so that when we're ready with that, we can advertise for a public hearing.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm happy to answer any questions. There's a draft plat in there, the schematic showing you what we're asking for.
Make a motion to schedule a public hearing.
Mr. Lyon,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. McDaniel,
Yes.
Mr. Day,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Thank you. And back to 11.
Okay, as I've shared with everybody, Main Street Lexington has started the Courthouse Square project, which involves moving the county-owned Veterans Memorial to a parcel just to the north, more directly in front of the old courthouse. And in order to consummate that move, there are 3 land transactions which need to take place. The first of which is a gift deed of the new parcel from Rockbridge Partners LLC to the county, to the where they're moving the Veterans Memorial, and second, a gift deed to of the current Veterans Memorial parcel to Rockbridge Partners, basically a land swap there. And then finally, a gift deed of the current Veterans Memorial, then a further gift deed from Rockbridge Partners to the city of Lexington to be part of the courthouse square there. And as I discussed with each of you individually, I have an email handshake with Lexington and Rockbridge Partners, who are both in agreement of what I just described. The deed for the new memorial parcel would contain language that would ensure the parcel remains a veterans memorial, which was very important to John Adamson with Rockbridge Partners, and I know is important to the Board of Supervisors. And so that's why that will be in there. And again, just like the last one, in order for the county to divest itself as a parcel is noted, we would need to schedule a public hearing. Same thing goes with this one. We've got to get it all drafted up for the 3 things to hopefully happen all at one time. So it would probably come in the second meeting in August.
Okay. Gentlemen, any other questions for Mr. Suter? This issue? Your motion to schedule a public hearing.
So moved.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Lyon.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Okay, now you're on 14.
Thank you, sir. And that would be appointments. Looks like my term on RARO has expired. So
I move we reappoint Ms. Ayers.
Second.
Mr. Lewis, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Mr. Lyons.
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Day.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you very much. Staff reports. Is there a motion to accept? Make sure I have not skipped anything. Nope.
Oh, you're good.
Is there a motion to accept? Or
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Lyons,
Yes.
Mr. Day,
Yes.
and I vote yes. And are there any board comments, unfinished business, announcements? Not? Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Mr. McDaniel,
Yes.
Mr. Lyons,
Yes.
Mr. Day,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
and I vote yes. Thank you all for coming out.